So this is the fuse box slash Tipm for the Chrysler PT Cruiser. Under here is where you unplug all the stuff that's already attached to the car. You unplug it and pull it out. Right here is going to be a 13 millimeter or a 12 millimeter. Well, for this one, it was a 13 millimeter bolt, you know, so I used the socket for that. So this is inside of the fuse box. Well, when you open up the fuse box, you got all your fuses here. And then the complicated thing about PT Cruisers is that inside here, I'm not talking about up here, but inside here, they have more fuses and relays and other stuff integrated in here. So whatever you can't find up here, if you can't detect what the problem is on top of here, then you're going to need to find your way in here and then try to figure out which one is it in there. Okay? And I know it's complicated. You're like, why would they do that? Why not just put everything on the, why not just put everything, you know what I'm saying, on top? Like every other car. But they didn't. And this is the 12 millimeter. Is it the correct size? This is where the 13 millimeter bolt would bolt on. So for the PT Cruiser, it will bolt on this way. So this will go here on the fuse box. You see? It will go right here. And then the 13 millimeter bolt would go right here. And then you use your 13 millimeter socket and ratchet and you bolt it down. And then this part, this end right here, will connect to the battery, the positive side of the battery. Now, let me tell you something. Let me show y'all something. You see how this part is clean? Okay, and this is off. This is the wire that you have to take off from the old one. Well, from this one. From that fuse box slash Tipm. But I noticed that on this side, look, on this side, not only was the bolt rusted as crap, the bolt was rusted as crap going on top of here, and then this is rusted as well. So it's like, this being rusted the way it is, no wonder not that much current was going to the transmission. And then right here, right where the wire is, If it focus. Well, there's wire right here. The wire right here looks kind of corroded and kind of jacked up on top of this rusted plate right here. So I believe this was really my main problem. The main problem was this rusted plate and this corroded wire, because clearly y'all could see that the part that bolts on to the Tipm itself, that part is nice and clean right here. Nice and clean. It's not rusted out. It's in good condition. Know what I'm saying? So the problem, the connected problem, or the power supply problem was not coming from here. I detected that it had to be coming from this rusted plate and this corroded wire. I don't want to stay in my hand. This corroded wire and this rusted plate. And also on this, I don't know what was going on, but when you blow the horn, it would stick. Bam! So it's either the horn switch, it's either the switch that's in the steering wheel itself, or got something to do with this. You know what I'm saying? So this is the old one. And like I said, when you're taking it apart, when you're removing it from your vehicle, well, specifically the Chrysler PT Cruiser, step one, obviously, is to remove your intake. After you remove your intake, then you want to remove your battery. Take terminals off your battery and remove your battery completely from the engine bay. After you do that, then there's other steps you got to do to, be able to pull this up. But once you get it up, and to a point to where you have better access, you're going to unbolt. You're going to unbolt this. You're going to have one plug, and this is for the Chrysler PT Cruiser. I believe it's the 06 and up, or 07 and up. I never had a 05, 4, 3, 2, 1. I never had, I only had a 6 and a 7. So for the 6 and a 7, if I'm correct, you have one plug that you take out. You got 2, 3. You got 4. So you got 1. You got 2, 3 up here, 4 right here. Of course, you're going to unbolt that. That's one side. And you have another side, which makes it really easy to change out because it has 2 separate sides to where, you cannot get it mixed up. Then it has little plugs here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 plugs on one side and 4 big plugs. Okay, so I have 6 small plugs on one side and 5 big plugs on the other side. Now the big plugs, because it's going to be facing this way, and being that it's going to be facing this way in your PT Cruiser, when you lift it up, you're going to have easy access, well, better access to take out these big ones first. So you take these big ones out first, and then you find your way to taking out these small ones. So I just wanted to, give y'all an update on, quick update on changing my, the problem I was having on my '07 Chrysler. And it's accelerating better now. It's accelerating very well. On this box, when this was in, connected to this wire, it's like it would stay in second gear and then wouldn't leave second gear. And then it would stay there. So I'm glad I went to Pull Aparts last year and got a new box with a new wire. And I changed out, took the old one out, the old wire out, and then put the new box in and the new wire in. Plugged everything back up, followed all the steps correctly, and then I did a test drive, which was, you know what I'm saying? And it's accelerating, it's back to normal, It's accelerating very well. So that's it for this video. And this is past Anna saying, one easy for sheezy maheezy. Alright, so a code came on my car reading low input to the transmission. So when I looked it up, it was saying that it was the Tipm, the totally integrated power module. Yeah, so basically the fuse box. Basically that's what it is. It's a fuse box, but Chrysler call it Tipm. Chrysler call it a totally integrated power module. So I had an '06 Chrysler PT Cruiser, and that car was acting up and overheating and all type of stuff. So I ended up buying that fuse box or Tipm for the '06, but I never put it on the '06 because the '06 kept overheating. Because there was a cracked head gasket, and I did everything in my power. Bars leak, seal, head gasket, sealer, and all that. I tried all of that. Blue Devil and all of that. I tried all of that. None of that worked. The head gasket was really messed up because none of that worked. You feel me? The only time I would stay cool is if it's cold outside and I'm driving at highway speed and it's cold outside, then the temperature of the engine would stay at a fair price. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, car would overheat and give too much problems. So, fast forward to the present day, 2021, with my '07 Chrysler PT Cruiser, and it's a limited. So everything was good. I got into an accident, and that caused, somebody ran the red light and hit me and then ran. And then I started having a few issues with the car, and then I got those fixed. Then I end up fixing the radiator and blah blah blah, everything else. So everything was good. The car was good. I cleaned the throttle body, and I ended up cleaning the filter for my cold air intake, and I cleaned the filter to my cold air intake. Instead of spending money on a new filter, I just spent money on a kit to clean it, which was a whole lot cheaper. So after doing all of that and driving the car, the the car started acting funny, like it would jerk when I'm driving. And it's like when the transmission is trying to go in gear, it would jerk and give problems. And then the check engine light came on, beep, 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 beep. So I'm like, so me, I went to AutoZone and I purchased me this very affordable OBD2 scanner, which only cost me like $40, $45, $50 the most. I spent for that. You don't need no big expensive scan tool, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you're not a professional mechanic, you don't need no, expensive scan tool. Just need something like that. You plug it in, it's gonna give you the code, and all you do with the code is go on Google and go on YouTube, and then you will find out what that code is. You know what I'm saying? There's thousands of videos out there on YouTube to show you, what that code is for your specific make and model and year for your car. Yeah. So after I searched what that code was, P0700, and I checked it out, then there's this mechanic on YouTube who actually works for a Chrysler dealership, so he knows about the PT Cruiser and other Chrysler, and STR vehicles, you know what I'm saying? So so he basically was saying to me that, it's either the Tipm, which is a totally integrated power module, or it was the ECU, which is the, the brains of the car, the computer of the car. He said it's either or. But he said the best thing to do is to change out the Tipm first, because when you're changing out the computer, the ECU, when you change it out, you're going to have to take it to a professional, highly qualified technician who can reprogram, you know what I'm saying, that ECU to your car. But with the Tipm, the fuse box for the Chrysler is easy. It's just a plug and play. You basically just unplug everything, remove it, and then there's like one thing you gotta unbolt. Well, two things you gotta unbolt, and then you take the new one that you got at pull apart, or you pig or whatever junkyard you got it from, or even if you ordered it online, you just plug it back in the same way you plugged it out. It's very easy. It's not hard. You bolt those two things back together, and you also gotta do a hard reset on your car. So I did a hard reset on my PT Cruiser. I took the terminals off of the battery, and then I zip tied both of the terminals together so that it can do a hard reset and drain everything. Know what I'm saying? 165, and the next one is at 166. So that means not too far from now, I'm gonna have to do an oil change. Yeah, so I did a hard reset and put the new one back in yesterday, but there was this one wire that I had to take out, which was very annoying because there was a bolt that was rusted. I'm kind of glad that bolt fell down in the engine bay somewhere and got lost. I'm kind of happy for that, because I found another bolt that's cleaner, newer, and better, to bolt it down. So now, long story short, I put the new Tipm / fuse box in my 07 Chrysler PT Cruiser. And now we're going to test it out and see if it shifts. So it's in drive. Oh, we're not doing a 0 to 60 time, and I really need a GoPro since I'll be doing this a lot. We're not doing a 0 to 60 time. So that means I can't, floor it. Well, I'm not gonna floor it. Okay, so now we finna get on a road to where we're really gonna be able to hear and feel when or if it's shifting. What do I say, right or wrong? I'm so sorry, dear. It's clear over there. Clear over there. Now let's listen out. And of course, the stupid airplane wanna pass by while I'm trying to run some tests. Cause with this test, you gotta use your ears. You gotta hear. I hear it and I feel it shifting. But the type of road we're on, we can't, we're not gonna floor it. And plus I'm using, one hand. Now if I was driving with both my hands, then I could floor it on this road and really test it out. But I do hear it shifting. I hope I don't break it. Yeah, at full throttle, it shifts. Yeah, full throttle, it shifts. Before, wasn't doing that. Before was not doing that. With that old box and that old wire, it wasn't doing that. When I would floor it, I think it would stay in second gear and then that's it. And it would stay like that for a hot minute as long as my foot was, down on the gas. Like, as long as I was, full throttle, it only stayed in second gear. And then when that code comes on your car, well, mainly for the PT Cruisers, it should be for every other car too. But when that happens with your car, I believe your car goes into limp mode, which means all you can do is reverse and go in second gear. And limp mode is basically you limp your way to the mechanic, to the shop. You limp your way to the shop. That's what it's for. So yeah, and then my horn was acting up earlier when I finished put everything together and took it on a cold test run. Right there was a hot test run. But yeah, the horn kept beep, beep, beep. I'm like, I'm driving the car and I'm not touching the horn. So it's either the switch for the horn or it's the relay. So I turned the car off. I went inside because I'm sweating bullets. Come back out, start it up because I had to lock the door. And I turned the AC on and locked the door. Started up the car. And then started driving it. And I haven't heard that beep. I haven't heard it back yet. And from A to B, it's like 10 minutes, 8 minutes. It don't feel like it when you're driving. Oops. It don't feel like it when you're driving. But it's like 8-10 minutes drive from where I was to here. So yeah, I'm very happy. For those who haven't seen my real life episode, Ways We Block Our Blessing, I mentioned that I'm not a mechanic, but okay, my car could do that too. Huh. I'm just not gonna do it. My car could do that too. Some souped up Honda or some tuned up Honda just passed. Kinda sounded like it had turbo in there, turbocharger. But yeah, like I said, I'm not a mechanic. But when it comes to my car, I do my very best to work on my own car as much as possible to save money. And if it's something I cannot do or I cannot handle, then I call one of my mechanics, to come through and take over and do what I can't do. You know what I'm saying? But as far as this Tipm, replacing this Tipm / fuse box, it was pretty easy, pretty simple, not hard at all. The hardest part about this job that I did was this freaking heat beaming on my head. I ain't got no garage, I ain't got no tent or nothing like that to park my car under, like to work on the car, in some shade. I ain't got that. So the sun is beaming on my forehead. You know what I'm saying? Like making me hot. So that was the hardest part out of the job, out of changing out the Tipm. Sorry I didn't film how to change out the Tipm. Maybe on another video I will do it. I can probably go to Pull Aparts and do how to change out the Tipm or how to take out the Tipm at Pull Aparts. But for something like that, I would really need a GoPro. So if I could, I'm gonna look online. If I could find a GoPro, then that'll really help me out a whole lot. Doing how-to videos, that would help me out a whole lot. But yeah, I'm very happy, very satisfied that I fixed my car. And when I asked this mechanic, no, actually that was for another car. But if I would have went to a shop to do this job, it would have cost me. Yeah, if I would have went to a shop to do this job, it would have cost me money. I went online and did it myself, so yay, I'm happy. Alright, so later.